Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm sorry. I'm going to do the least amount of editing as possible. So what y'all hear, y'all hear. Okay? Um we're here today to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And before we start, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit of my business. You want to know why? Because I was a little annoyed this morning. Today was the first day of my staycation where I'm staying home, I'm cleaning. Okay, listen, I'm not that upset because it was a very, very productive day. I got shit cleaned like crazy. Yes, I did. And I'm very proud of myself. However, it started off with the emergency phone ringing 8:30 this morning. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Nope, not shitting you. It's really ringing. Then I have my regional calling, maintenance call. Like I have everybody calling me this morning. And I just keep telling them I am on vacation. Like literally, can y'all just leave me alone? Give me a minute. Figure it out. Like honestly, figure that shit out. And I think I took like 5 or 6 calls today, first day. But it's okay. We're still gonna stay in a really good mood because shit got done. Shit got done. Okay. So okay, let's start off this episode, season 12, episode 16. It's called Attitude Adjustment. And we have Kyle and Dorit in the car, and they are talking about what happened. And y'all, I thought Dorit was there. She was almost there because she was like, listen, Rinna is really having a whole lot of, negative reactions and big blow ups or whatever. And then she goes into talking about how it's, about her mom and this and that. I get it, but how many excuses are we going to give her? Like, how many times are we going to excuse her bad behavior? Well, what are you talking about? And then Kyle is just like, yes, she's in the confessional saying how, listen, we just have to give her a pass or whatever because she's really going through this. I don't have to give her shit. Nobody has to give her nothing because Lisa Rinna and them big ass lips really be flapping all the time. Like it was way before her mom passed. May she rest in peace. I'm not taking that lightly. It's a huge thing. Not something that I want to even think about being on this earth without my mom. So I get it. Well, I don't get it. I'm not even going to say I get it. I don't get it. But see, my point is Lisa Rinna is just a bitch. Period. And she has been long time ago. So we don't need to give her grace for anything. Okay, so maybe Dorit is coming around. She said that, she just feels like it's unfair that Sutton is constantly having stuff being thrown at her. And she's like, I don't think she really articulates herself well and get her point across very well. And I don't know that I really agree with that because I feel like she did that one time in the last episode that we saw, but does she really go off on tangents a whole lot to where we can't understand her? Like, I don't know that I've never ever been like, what the fuck is Sutton talking about? Well, that's a lie. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was ever where she was really stumbling like she was in the past episode. So they were talking about how, it's just too much and maybe she just needs a little support. And y'all know I cannot stand giving Kyle a compliment, but in that car, she looked cute. She had on the little sunglasses. Her hair looked really full. She had on some cute colors. She looked cute. But in the confessional, not so much. So we got to give her some and then take it away. Why? Because I ain't shit. But that orange is not her color. Like it's just not. Orange is not her color. So she look a hot mess in the she look a hot tangerine pumpkin spice mess in the confessional. Yeah, here we go. We got Diana. And you know what? I figured out this episode her smush face. She just got a smushed ass face. She got an ass face. She got a face like somebody smushed her in her face for real. And you know who she looks like? She looks like something from Squid Games. I can't recall right now, but it's something with a mask or something. Like it's something because she act like she can't move her face. and the licking of the lips, and it's just all very gross. But she's coming to Garcelle's house. Garcelle looks cute. And I guess they're trying to get to know each other. Wouldn't be me, but okay, Garcelle. She comes over, she tells her that her shit's on backwards. Oh my god, I was just so hungover. I just did not want the party to stop. I'm so hungover. And I'm like, wasn't she the one that was just like, oh, I did too much when they were out of town on the first trip or whatever? I did too much and I can't drink like that and I'm just not gonna drink like that. But apparently she was drinking like that. So she don't want to drink anything tonight. She just wants water. And I can't stand her, you guys. I can't stand the sound of her voice. I can't stand looking at her smushed ass face. I can't stand Diana. I can't. Boo. You guys, they are having the most boring conversation ever. Her and Garcelle are talking about, first of all, they talk about the picture she posted, which was very shitty because Kyle looked a hot ass mess and so did Kathy. But she looked fine on him. Her eyes were open. She was smiling. And she's blaming it, of course, on the drinks or whatever. Then we get to talking about why she's not staying at Kyle's house. And I'm like, Garcelle, what a dumbass question. Kyle already said her house is not even that big. You're not staying at Kyle's house. Why aren't you staying at Kyle's house? How about that? And or maybe she was talking about why you aren't, why aren't you staying at the second house? I don't know, but I feel like you guys, I would probably want to stay in a hotel too. Like I'm totally a hotel person. I like to be alone, be in my own space, do my own thing. Like I'm not we can be together when we're together and then I need y'all to move. Like I need to get away from y'all for a little while. It's just too much. Um but yeah, the conversation is just boring. We talking about how she goes in with Ghostbusters and she wants to cleanse everything, and I'm like, she ain't got nothing else to do but waste money. Because girl, you are the toxic energy that you're trying to cleanse. How are you doing that? Like you are. No, I don't want to call it the devil, but she is. And no, I'm not gonna call it. I'm not gonna do it. But y'all, did I say I can't stand Diana? Okay, all right. All right, and I do want to mention that in that conversation, she was saying how if Sutton was there right now, they wouldn't be having this conversation. This wouldn't be happening. And I just feel like when Sutton's around, she don't try to engage with Garcelle because I'm sure Garcelle would sit there and talk to her if she tried. So I don't know what she's talking about. Like Sutton doesn't stop Garcelle from engaging with people and talking to people. Like Garcelle said, no, I just saw how shitty you were to her. So that made me question, do I even want to get to know you really? And that's fair. That makes sense. So we move on to Rinna, and y'all know good and goddamn well I am not about to watch Rinna again because I did the first time, so I could tell y'all a little bit of what happened. She has a box of things that she picked from her mom and her mom's house or whatever, and she's picking out everything and showing her husband. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but she did say "aw," and I'm a "aw" girl. Like I will text "aw" a lot. I think I even put in the comments half the time because I really do be like "aw," but if I had a dime for every time she said "aw," 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 look at that, "aw." Oh, and I'm like, didn't you just pick this shit? Like you literally was like, oh, we picked this leopard outfit or whatever. And I'm like, you just picked it. So why are you awing like you didn't just see it? But it's okay. It's okay. Right now, we're going to give her the grace that they asked for. So she can awe away. But that's all that little scene was about. All right, y'all. Another scene that I am not going to watch. I'm not even kidding. Sorry. I did watch the Rinna scene first, though, you guys. I didn't watch this scene the first time, but and I'm not gonna watch it again. But I do have Kyle and Mauricio. I guess they're playing putt putt golf. I don't know if they're by their house. Maybe they're at their house. Maybe they're in their yard or something. I don't know. But I told you, I just think she's really kind of shitty to him half the time. He's like right here, right here, which, yeah, that could be annoying. But she's like, I know. You don't have to always say, like, I just feel like she's constantly fussing at him. And that is probably why I don't know a lot about Mauricio. I don't care. But from what I've been hearing recently, like he's always high, he's always a little fucked up or whatever. He's a cheater, and I'm just like, I'll allow it because look at what he's dealing with. She's a shitty person. She is. Kyle is just a shitty person. And y'all, I've been going down the rabbit hole of the old Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the old scenes and everything with um what's her name? Grammer, Kelsey Grammer's wife or whatever, Camille, and the other one, which was Brandy. And I could not stand Brandy when she was on the show. Like, I just thought she was a drunken fool. I really did. But as I go back and I watch the different scenes or whatever, I'm like, Brandy is giving them the business. And she's not wrong. Like, she wasn't wrong. She was calling them on all their shit. And I appreciate her so much more now. Like, I thought she was intolerable at the time. I really did. But that's when I thought I liked Kyle. I thought I liked, some of these women. But now that I go back and I look and I'm just like, oh, she was so right. She was right. Okay, so then we have Pecan Dorit. And y'all, I can't stand this bed that they have. This green suede bed, I can't stand it. Like, I hate it so much. I feel like, why? Why is it green? I can't stand the color green. I'm sorry. A lot of people like the color green. My sister said her favorite color is green because of money. I don't know if it's still her favorite color, but it used to be. I just cannot stand the way this looks. Why would you get a green suede bed? Okay, I'm really, really going on a tangent about nothing. So they're just talking about the fact that she's not staying with Kyle, and he looked really, really upset for her. He's like, "Why aren't you staying with Kyle?" And she's like, "Well, other people are staying with Kyle, and I didn't want to argue about it." Oh my God, you're not staying with Kyle? And she was like, I'm not. I'm just like, they don't have nothing to talk about. It's really not that big of a deal. Kyle will be okay. Dorit will live. It's fine. All right, so we flip back to Kyle and Mauricio. Apparently, Mauricio's going because he said something about he's not letting them stay there by themselves with the weather. I don't know, but it's fine. And later on, I'm just gonna say it now. They talk about how Mauricio's coming when they're on the bus, and I think it's Garcelle. I'm pretty sure it was Garcelle that was like, "Oh, do we get to share him?" And I'm like, I just don't play like that, y'all. Like, I just feel like that's not okay. Don't play about my man. Even though right now I don't have one. And I'm perfectly happy with that. But when I do have one, I'm playing zero games with you talking about, ooh, can we share him? Bitch, because we know how women can be. Um, so she says how Garcelle and Sutton unfollowed Erica. And then we get a scene where I guess Garcelle unfollowed her like a year ago or whatever. And she's like, it's so juvenile. And why are we having this conversation? And when you unfollow somebody, it's making a statement. And I'm like, yeah, the statement is Erica can fuck off. Like, they don't like her. She don't like them. Who cares? Kyle, why do you care? All right, y'all. Let me tell you one thing that I can appreciate, and I actually was smiling. Crystal and her housekeeper, her housekeeper is bringing her up another suitcase. She's like, "Why you have me bring the suitcase up?" And she's like, "Cause I need another suitcase." She's like, "Too much clothes." And I just like the facial expression she was making and everything. I just like their little friendship and their relationship because Crystal was just saying there's gonna be drama and her housekeeper's like, you like the drama. And I'm like, you better call it housekeeper. No, we're not gonna call her housekeeper. What was her name? I don't know. But she was a nice lady. Yeah, so we're at Sutton's house and she and her assistant, they're packing and she throws him her $4,000 Dolce and Gabbana like puffer jacket and tells him to make it as small as he can, ball it up into a ball, and he's just balling and balling it up. And then as he puts it in the suitcase, it starts to inflate again. And she's like, it's inflating again. He's like, yeah, like an air mattress. And they just look at it like, ah. And then she claps her hands. This fool claps her hands at him and says, pack. And he rolled his eyes. I'm like, oh, hell no, Sutton. Okay, so now we have Cherie calling. She's FaceTiming Garcelle. They're both packing, and Cherie is saying how she's not ready, and she's like, it looks like a bomb was set off in this place, and she shows what her bedroom looks like, and there's literally clothes everywhere on her bed, on the couch. It looks a hot ass mess, and I'm just like, Cherie, why are you putting that much thought into it? Because we don't really see you, mama. It's okay. Whatever you wear is fine because you're not getting a whole lot of camera time because you're not saying shit. Like, honestly. Um, I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing against Cherie, but she's bringing absolutely nothing. She's not backing nobody. She's not bringing anything. So, I don't care what she wears. Girl, just throw something in a suitcase and let's go because you are getting absolutely zero camera time. For real, for real. Am I lying? Y'all, leave it in the comments. Am I lying? All right, so she had a little one-liner here. Garcelle is telling her how she is really not feeling Erica after the party or whatever. She's done with her. She got no words for her. She has absolutely nothing for her. She's like, listen, she could be on fire and I would have no water for her. And I'm like, Garcelle, you're such a freaking lady because you know that's not the saying. You know it's not. And I'm happy she didn't say what the real saying is. But Cherie is like, you gotta at least spit on her. I did get a kick out of that. Okay, so the beat goes on. Y'all know how it goes when we're preparing for a trip. And now we have Garcelle and Crystal FaceTiming. And Crystal has on the cutest little Shein shirt. Y'all, I know it's not from Shein, but it's like the puffy Victorian. I love those shirts. Got a little bit of lace, a little bit of ruffle, a little bit of puffiness. Love it all. But she's talking to Garcelle about Erica. And she's like, did you see? Because it's kind of everywhere that she has these earrings that were brought by Tom Girardi's company. $750,000 earrings. And she's like, that would pay back a lot of the victims. And she's like, she needs to turn those over. But then in the next breath, she's like, well, she's got to know that we know about it because it just pops up on our phone. However, in the confessional, she's like, well, I learned from last year. If Erica wants to share, she will. If she doesn't, don't push it. And I'm like, Crystal, girl, where's your backbone? Tell that bitch she needs to return those earrings. Do it, Crystal. Y'all think? Oh, well, we see in the next episode, Crystal is gonna say that, I believe. So come on, Crystal, let's go. She's about to find. Nah, I'm just not even gonna give her all that. We'll see what happens in the next episode. All right, y'all. They are finally on their way. So they get on the plane, and we have Erica in the confessional talking about how fabulous Aspen is, and it's where all the people who made it go. Yeah, I've been there a billion times. I've even flown there on my own plane. And I'm like, girl, you're so sad. It's all gone. Like, don't you understand that you look shitty when you say stuff like that? Because people don't believe you had a whole lot of money. People believe you and your husband were cheating people like victims. And that's how you got to fly in on your own plane. She doesn't care. And as we saw from the previews from next week, she doesn't care. Like, she's about to let the shit fly next week. And I can't wait because this is how she really feels. What did she say? I don't care about nothing. We gonna wait. We gonna talk about that next week. But she's letting her true feelings out. Y'all already know this girl don't care. This lady don't care about nobody but herself, honestly. Yeah, so we're on our way. And apparently we're just going to come back to Kyle's house for a little barbecue because everybody's going to be a little tired. Tomorrow they'll go skiing. Y'all, so they make it to the houses and okay, Kyle's house is cute. It is. He had a big ass American flag. All I was gonna say bottled up. It's not bottled up. It's framed and everything. And I don't know. Whenever I see like American flags, I just kind of feel like it says something. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But cute little house. That's fine. But then when they get to the other house, that's called the Aspen house, the one where Garcelle, Dorit, Cherie, I guess, Sutton, like that house, very nice. Very, very nice. Listen, chef's kiss. I'm not mad at that house. They scored. I would be like, yeah, I don't want to stay at Kyle's house. I'm definitely staying at the Aspen house. And she said it's called the Aspen house, built in 2018. It was very, very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, they actually came up. Yeah. So Mauricio has gone to the liquor store and everything. He comes in with bags or whatever. Okay, fine. They have a little charcuterie board. That's nice. Then we get back to the other house. They have a chef just waiting in the kitchen. He has snacks galore, like all these little boards set up for them and everything. I'm telling you. They really, really made out way better going there than Kyle's house. Now listen, Kyle's house is not nice. It's really nice. However, where they're staying is really good. So Kathy comes in, and of course she's bringing her own pillow. Y'all know how she does. I don't know if she has her box fan, remember from last season, but she got her pillow. She looks like she's in pajamas, and when they get upstairs, you see that she's got on house shoes. And I'm like, this lady just walked through snow, black ice, and everything in house shoes. And Kyle is like, you wore that? Like, what if somebody noticed you? They don't know. They didn't notice me. I wear a mask. Okay, great. So she tells them that they have to stay, or she tells Kathy that she has to stay in a bunk bed, but it's one of the most comfortable beds. She's like, yeah, she don't really care. So production asked Kyle, why is this the first time Kathy has been at to her Aspen house? And she's like, well, I've only had the house for 3 years, so this is the first time I've invited her. And I thought she was going to say something about being on lockdown for about 2 years or whatever. Like, I don't know. Is it me, or is Kyle being a little extra shitty to her sister this season? I don't know. And I feel like maybe it's because she was a fan favorite last year, even though she's not this year. Trust me, Kathy is not a fan favorite because we learned some things. But I don't know. I just feel like Kyle is not as all up her butt like she was last season. All right. So now we have Mauricio out in the cold barbecuing. The women are on their way in. Everybody's coming in. And we have a whole scene where the narrative is that Kathy Hilton is high maintenance. And I'm like, you think? And it's all because she's asking about the corn and she's saying you could put it on the barbecue grill. And Mauricio is like, you can do whatever you want to do. And I guess that means he's not doing it, but you can do it. And I'm like, yeah, they are definitely being a little extra shitty to her. Because even Kyle in the scene before was just like, yeah, she has money. She can go to a hotel or something she was saying, talking about why she hadn't been invited before or whatever. So, yeah, they're being a little funky. Then, it's so funny because they were like, we're going to boil the corn. And then they see her finally eating the corn after asking for the butter for the corn. And she's turning to somebody and she's like, this corn's not cooked. And I'm like, they said the corn is going to take an extra 30 minutes or so after you eat your other food. Like, it's not going to be done in time. She was insistent on this corn. So there you have it. Um, you could tell that something is coming with Kathy. And I guess the Aspen trip, there's a huge thing about her saying like racist comments or supposedly or whatever. And I guess we're going to see. But you could tell that there's something coming with Kathy because there's a whole lot of emphasis on her. And people are just not being very nice to her. So now these dumbass girls are playing with a Ouija board. And that's just never a good idea. They're so stupid. All right, so they're asking the Ouija board stupid stuff, and everybody is seeing where Kyle is constantly trying to stir the pot, and that was coming from Rinna this time. And I think later on it's gonna be Dorit that says Kyle is constantly stirring the pot or whatever. So at least y'all know. But we get to another question, and of course here we go with Kyle again. Why did Garcelle unfollow Erica? And in the confessional, Erica's just like, I don't give a shit. Like, what are we, 14? Like, why do you know that she unfollowed me? Why is it a big deal? I don't care. And Garcelle is just like, she didn't say that to Garcelle, though. But Garcelle, to the group is just like, listen, she called me a liar. So there you have it. And she said, yeah, I called you a liar because you said you care about me. And she's like, Garcelle's like, no, that's not why. It's because you said that I was trying to paint a narrative. And she's like, you were going around saying that I have a drinking problem. And Garcelle is like, yeah, you were too. Like, you were definitely saying the same thing. And Erica's like, you went to her and you went to her and you got mad when they weren't giving you what you wanted. And she's like, I said it to you. So what are you talking about? And then we see the playback where, yeah, she went to Erica and was just like, yeah, you're doing a whole lot with the drinking. And Erica was like, yeah, because I was trying to mix them with the pills or whatever. The same thing I'm doing right now. Ha ha ha. So Erica knew what she was doing. So Garcelle, listen, I'm not gonna go into if I think Garcelle was painting a narrative. I think she was. I think she was doing some stuff. It was true though, because I feel like Erica wanted that narrative to be painted with the whole I'm drunk. I'm so drunk. I'm so drunk. So all of it is just a moot point. Like, who cares? Yes. So we get to the point where Garcelle tells Erica, we don't need to be friends. Listen, and she just says it absolutely so casually, like, we don't need to be friends, Erica. And she's like, no, we don't. And she's like, no. And then it was funny because they both had to get the last word. And it's cool. Yeah, fine with me. Yeah, I don't care. No, I don't care either. Yeah, it's all good. No, it's all good. And I'm like, okay, ladies, we get it. Y'all not gonna be friends. That's cool. And then of course Kyle is still talking. It's like Kyle gets on my last nerve. I swear to God, she does. So here is where Dorit in her confessional is like, I don't understand what's going on with Kyle right now. She's like, we've all had these little frivolous fights, so I don't understand what she's doing right now. She's like, I think she's just kind of stirring the pot, and I'm like, that's what she's doing. That's what she's always doing. So then we have Sutton jumping in, and she's like, this lady called me and see you next Tuesday. Like, why is she not allowed? She didn't say this, but this is why is she, this is me. Why is she not allowed to unfollow her if she freaking called her that? Why is it a big deal? No, we're not friends. This is what you call me. But then again, I feel like Sutton needs to pick a side. Either you care to be Erica's friend or you don't. So you can't just be like, oh, like a billion years later, I'm going to go ahead and unfollow you because you offended me. You either like her or you don't. She like you or she don't. All right, so as Kyle is making a huge deal out of the fact that Sutton and Garcelle unfollowed Erica, Sutton is just like, listen, she called me a CUNT, and nobody said anything about that. And she looked really cute in this confessional, like it was very understated. She just had on like a bangle. Well, it wasn't a bangle, but it was a cute little bracelet. She looked cute in this confessional, but she's in the confessional saying, listen, where's the comparison? Like, this girl called me a see you next Tuesday. Nobody said anything to her. I unfollow her on Instagram and I'm getting all this feedback. Like, are you kidding me? So she then says it out loud. She's like, listen, nobody said anything when she called me, what she called me. And Rinna is like, why should we? And I'm like, bitch. And then we hear somebody say, that's because you are. And everybody starts laughing. And of course, Erica's like, ha, 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 ha. And Garcelle's like, what'd she say? What'd she say? And then she repeated it, that's what you are. And I can honestly say Crystal in the confessional said it's not funny. And you can look at her face when it happened. No smile. Like, she wasn't even attempting to smile. It wasn't even almost funny. She was just shaking her head. Rinna put her head down, but she had like a smirk on her face. So you could tell that she liked it. Rinna ain't shit. She liked it. Yeah, and we cut to a commercial. Y'all, did I say I cannot stand Diana? I cannot stand freaking Diana. I can't stand her. And then her and Erica together, her Erica and Rinna, her Erica Rinna and like, it's just so many of these girls that I cannot stand. So after the break, we see Garcelle telling Diana, that's not okay. And she's in the confessional in her red Michael Jackson leather or pleather, whatever it is, because PETA. And she's just like, I can't stand that word and yada yada. And then we go back to the group and Diana's like, yeah, it was uncivilized what I said, but I just don't like her. And Garcelle's like, why? And I'm like, why ask why? Who cares at this point? And Sutton is just like, she's like, I'm just struggling. And Diana cuts her off and says that, she's watched her and she just feels like she moves a little slithery and everything. And you can't understand what this lady says half the time. Like, you can't understand her with her smashed in face and licky lips. Like, you can't understand anything about her. She's just out of control, and she just keeps going on and on about how I just don't like her. I just don't like your friend. I just don't like your friend. And Garcelle's like, listen, she is a person. She has feelings. Does she? Does she have feelings? Oh, she needs to be beat down. I'm like, Diana, that would be your ass. Like, I would be all on her at this point. She is doing way too much. And Sutton is over there tearing up. She's getting all, uh, all upset about it. And you know what? I'll give her this. At first, I was irritated that Sutton was getting all teary and she cared, because then Diana's finna leave and everybody's like, don't leave, Diana, don't leave. And Sutton is like, no, she can leave. And I'm like, yeah, let that bitch go. Like, who wants her here anyway? So my point is, I'm just gonna give Sutton a pass because you guys, Sutton has carried this entire season. I know all of the reviewers have said it, and it's true. She's carried this season on her back. When I tell you, she gets it coming from every angle, every which way. Everybody came at her, and she was just like dodging them, dodging them. She's dealing with it. And for her to finally have a breakdown, that's fair. That's fine. I'll let her have it. But this lady is just out of control. And even in the confessional, Crystal is like, listen, this makes no sense that we're just going in circles. Like, what do you want? Because Sutton has literally apologized to this woman a billion times. What do you want? Like, who cares about her? I just want Sutton to turn to her and be like, Diana, I don't like you either. We don't need to be friends. Like, take a page out of Garcelle's book. You see what she just did? That's easy. Listen, I wash my hands of you. I don't like you either. Sutton don't like this lady because none of us like her. So it's fine. It's fair. Tell her we don't have to get along. We don't have to do anything. You can just fuck right on off. And that's fair. All right, y'all. That's it. That's the end of this episode. Nope. You know what? I always do that. I leave like a couple minutes thinking that I remember everything, and then I always end up missing something in the very end. So let it play to the very end. I think it's one more minute left to make sure I'm not missing nothing, and then I'll come and close out. Oh, see? And there, I was about to miss the point that I had with Kyle. In the very end, Kyle is in the confessional saying, yeah, Diana, she's really getting it off her chest or whatever. And some people could say it's mean, but I would just say she's being honest. And I'm like, Kyle don't give two shits about Sutton, y'all. She plays like she's her friend. She don't like her. Like, she doesn't like Sutton. And Sutton gotta wake up. Like, hopefully, as she's watching this back, she's seeing this lady don't mean you any good. Like, she really doesn't. While they're sitting there arguing back and forth or whatever, Kyle touches Sutton and she's like, you can say what you need to say. And that is all because she just wants to keep it going. It has nothing to do with her wanting Sutton to have her say or whatever. Kyle just loves producing, and she loves to keep the shit going, basically. But for her to be in that confessional, like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it's mean. I'll allow it. Like, look at everything that Kyle allows, you guys. She allows Erica to talk about Garcelle's son. She allows this girl to call her a cunt and go on and on about how she can't stand her. However, that's her friend. Garcelle's her friend. Like, just look at Kyle and the stuff that she's okay with. She got issues, y'all. But that is finally the end of the episode. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. Thank you very much. If you have not already, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you as part of the Beautiful People family. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.